Captain's Log, May 1st, 2026. Hello, I'm Captain Lyle. Good on you! You've made it to Friday. How was my week? Busy. Busy. Tell you that. Timing was also jumbled. But I think that's more so maybe just like tonight. Went to the store after school. Or after class. Which took about an hour. So I got home at 6:30, had dinner, finished dinner around here. So, time of recording, it's 9:22. Probably going to be like a 20-minute session. Maybe 25 minutes, I'll be honest. But it'll probably go up maybe a minute or so. It'll probably go up a little later. Because time's been a bit jumbled. But, we'll get into it. Get into the media minute. What did I watch this week? Okay, it's loading, which is annoying. But, watched AI, Artificial Intelligence, and I didn't get to, because I was busy when my time jumbled, didn't get to watch the pick, so we're still on, this was last week's pick that I watched this week, and next week, or this week's pick I'm watching next week, Belladonna of Sadness. But, I watched AI, Artificial Intelligence, the Steven Spielberg movie. Quite liked it. I gave it 5 stars in the heart, and said, crazy that such a good story about love can come from a fairy tale made with almost pure hate. The cinematography and lighting are great, the effects both special and practical are realistic, and the acting ties it all together perfectly. The second act is a deviation from the heartfelt story as it cuts to Gigolo Joe after the scene in the forest, and the cut to Gigolo Joe after the scene in the forest is jarring to a comedic degree, but the film more than makes up for it. Also, an amusement park in ruins and twisted by years underwater is an amazing aesthetic I'm annoyed I didn't ever thought of before this movie. So, yeah, they go to an amusement park that's underwater in this movie later. I'm not going to say anything more than that, but it's such a cool scene. And I'm irritated I didn't think. I mean, I've had ideas of, like, well, we can get into that another time. But the way it was done here specifically is very well done. Apparently, so I forget, this was co-directed, but Steven Spielberg handled the second act, whereas don't quote me on this, but Michael Kubrick, I think that's who they were talking. I read some other, what other people said about this. I'm not gonna pull it up again to see if I remember this name right. But he handled the first and third act, which were more sentimental, and it's quite well done. Very the best actor in this movie is a 13-year-old. And that's not to say, oh, everyone sucks. No, they're all really good actors, but this kid is a really good actor. It's very believable. And there's something interesting about, artificial beings wanting to become real. Something that can really never be done. So it's just, the tragedy of them trying and trying. Which is interesting. I have some ideas for. I keep going back to my own stuff. We'll get to that in time. But I think this is a callback to a previous show where I was like, oh, kids run away to the circus as the child idea of freedom. So what? And there's some things that have been an inverse of that, where they run away from like circus backgrounds and into a more controlled background, like Psychonauts and the Riddler. But what if there was an organic being that wanted to become artificial because it was perfect? Well, I guess that's been done. There's like actually a famous copypasta. Oh, once I understood the weakness of my flesh and whatnot. So I suppose no, it was or maybe I don't want to say that idea came first, but it's not as novel as I was chalking it up to be. But hey, it's my take on that idea of like someone wanting to become artificial as opposed to artificial wanting to become someone. So that's where it gets its novelty. But not too much else to say in the movie. I did, at the behest of my mother, I bought some popcorn and I've had that while I watch movies. I used to get popcorn about a year ago, but stopped. I don't really know why. I guess I just stopped buying it. But there was this specific type I got. There are free. There's a light blue box that's salty, which is what I get. Then there's a light pink box that is sweet, and then an orange box that's sweet and salty. But this was like a year ago, and I come back to buy it now, and they've erased salty, and you can only buy sweet and salty, which is annoying. But also, there's only like one section of like pre-popped popcorn, because they really stock up on the pre-popped popcorn. Wait, did I say pre-pop earlier? The popcorn you pop at home, microwave popcorn, that's what I get, what I want to get. But they are really pushing pre-popped, already in a bag, ready to eat popcorn, which I don't want. That is, for me, part of the watching movies at home experience, is you make the popcorn yourself, and you, like, burn it, because I want to get my damn money's worth on my microwave popcorn that is iffy. So I set it to high, and I keep it in there for longer than the box says. And still, like, there's unpopped kernels in the bag. I'll finish the popcorn, and there'll be like 30 unpopped kernels that I am so tempted to, like, collect and store in, I don't know, a plastic bag, and then, like, open up the new bag and, like, put them in there or something. I don't know. Just to not waste them. But it infuriates me, because I'll like, burn some of the rest of the popcorn to get to that point. So what is so special about these kernels that they can withstand the heat, whereas the ones that have popped already are starting to burn? I don't want to buy pre-popped popcorn in order to get my money's worth. If I wanted to eat pre-popped popcorn, I would go down to the movies, and I would go up to the damn stand and then have the clerk stick a gun in my face and rob me of $20. I want microwave popcorn where all of it pops. But no, I've got half a mind to scoop up the rest of the unpopped kernels and keep them somewhere. And then, I don't know, I don't want it to, like, spill into the microwave when how'd I do that? Maybe I could, like, cut a hole in the middle, but not... Well, then I just have a hole in, like, the bag of popcorn, because I don't put it into a bowl, I just eat it out of the bag. Well, that's irritating. Anyway, Tales from Class. So, irritating thing. So as I've said earlier, we had to make a 20-second, as I said, last show, or maybe a previous show, I don't know if it's actually the last show. We had to make a 20-second commercial, and I'm probably going to do it about. Or I've already done it. I'll probably release it alongside this. But the lecturer said, okay, film them. He said last week, film them this week, and then we'll show them off next week, which was today. And he specifically said, we'll show them in class. So, I make sure I've got everything ready. I finish editing the damn thing, which was a pain to export because my external, like my thumb drive that I have on my keychain is busted again. It's glitched out, so I couldn't put it on there. So I had to like email it to myself, and then not important anyway. I've gotten it all ready. I've left the house early. No particular reason. I just figured I would. And I guess it's good that I did, well, somewhat. So I get to class, and I'm about to open the door, and I see, who are these people? I don't know any of these people in this room. And I check, no, I'm in the correct, or I'm like outside the correct room. I look at the schedule on the door, and oh, that's not the correct schedule, but it's the correct room. So I pull out my phone and check what my like classes are meant to be today. I should have like done this at home, but I was under the impression that nothing had changed because he said, and I checked my and I checked my emails like beforehand because I've had a habit of like walking into canceled classes because I didn't check my emails. I did it this time. He didn't send an email, but the class was, quote, online. So I pulled out my phone and saw you're meant to be in like this room at this time, and there's no room number, and it says online class. And at 10 a.m., and it's 9:51. So, I haul ass back home, and then get there at 10:10. So, if I like punch in the code within 40 seconds, so still within the minute of 10:10, I won't be late. So I get home, I check like messages on Blackboard that was sent like as I left the house. It was sent at like 9:40. I just bumped my headphone wire. But anyway, and it was the code for the day. So I like punched that in because like yes, I wasn't in like the call at that moment, but I busted my hump getting home on time. I left early, so no matter what, I should have been on time, and I was. I punched it in as is. It was all good. And then I'm searching through the like that course's page on the website and coming through emails and whatnot. And there's no link for a video or a call to join. So I text my friend, do we have a call today? It says it's online. And he says, no, it's, quote, shooting week for the 20-second commercial. Apparently, without informing any of us, without informing any of us at a reasonable time, he's extended the 20-second commercial, like, soft due date, because it's an optional assignment. But I'm finding quite a lot of work into the damn thing. Well, so is a lot of other people. Just because it's something fun to do. But he couldn't have, like, told us on, like, Wednesday via email. We only see him one day a week. I don't know his schedule. I don't know what he's doing all the other times. But, like, day of 20 minutes before class is not the best time to let you know, hey, there's not a class today. But we still had afternoon class, which we still had to deal with smelly student B. Student A, the one who overshares and is living in his mother's garden, was not present. So I don't know what's happening there. I'll be sure to update you as it goes along. But he didn't show up, but student B did, and sat next to me like the whole class, and smelled awful. I was mainly just interrupting people a lot. I don't think anything specific happened, other than him going on about some webcomic he made. And he, like, emailed it to the friend I texted to be like, do we have class today? I don't know, it was really weird. He also showed us his 20-second video, which it's meant to be an advertisement for yourself, if I didn't mention that. And it was just an advertisement for himself. It was just him. Like, apparently he did taekwondo, and he likes manga. So 5 seconds of the ad was him reading manga. It was a still shot of him in his bed reading manga. And he, like, oh, that's not meant to be edited that way. So he, like, fiddles with it for a minute and then flips his laptop back around and plays the 20-second thing in full again. And apparently the editing error was like it faded out. It was meant to continue going continuously, but instead he added like an effect to it, so it faded out instead. So I saw his thing twice. I didn't want to see it once. So the next time he offered to show me anything, which I think was his webcomic, I wasn't paying attention. It's like, oh, do you want to see this? I just said no. I mean, I said no, not really, which is still about as harsh. But frankly, I don't like him at all, so I don't care. He smells awful, and I had to sit within a foot of him for 3 hours. So I don't really care about, like, being nice to him. He's not nice to my nostrils. Other than that, no, not much else has happened. Just, I guess, busy with class stuff and other channel stuff. This is an interesting kind of show, I'll say, because it can be the monthly shows. Boy, do those take some time. I mean, they actually take like an hour, but it's also just a little draining to talk continuously for 1 hour. Even if it is about my favorite subject. Me. But this can either be a very easy show, or a very easy thing to, quote, produce, or a taxing thing. So on a week like this, it's alright. But compared to everything else, I think... I hesitate to say that I dread Captain's Logs, but I do sometimes worry, do I have something to talk about this week? I've got a rather routine life. If you couldn't tell, loyal listeners are gonna go, oh, he's animating again, is he? Oh, he's walking to and fro school, work, and the store again, is he? So I think that's the only thing I worry about with this, is just something to talk about. But the actual just sitting down to talk is a lot easier than I think that I always chalk it up to be, especially as I'm like preparing to record. I enjoy it. I think I trailed off there with the routine bit, but it's, I don't know, something of a reprieve from the tedious editing and animating and trying to find specific sound effects. You would not believe how annoying it is to look up, like, I had to find like bed creaking sound effects for the Diamond Eye and Kevin animation, and I did not want like the people having sex sound. I didn't want that. I wanted like an old bed and someone's getting off of it. And I typed that in, like someone getting off of an old mattress. And it still just gave me the every single video. Like, was just, I'm just trying to find this. And I tried making it myself, too. I just, like, got my headphones and recorded, like, I put them on my bed. And I, like, did, I guess, like, sit-ups on it to try and, like, get the... And I heard it, but it didn't pick up on, like, my mic. for, I don't know, noise gate or something. I don't think it was that, because I was looking at OBS the whole time, and it was like picking up, but it was so, excuse me, so quiet. I guess I can just make it louder and do it again. What if I like punch my bed, have the springs? I don't know. That's not the noise I'm going for, but I just need to get the springs to like groan. But it's tedious. Oh well, that's the fun of making your own sound effects, children. You can either try and find them, which is often not helpful, or try and make them yourself, which is often maddening. Anyway, that is about everything. And the thing I wanted to watch. Or no, that's everything. I'll let you... I did have a talking point about From, but I said earlier, like I don't want it to be that late. I got stuff to do. So I'll talk about From next episode, because there will be more to talk about, because I've only seen 2 episodes out of the probably 10. So I'd rather have 30% of the show to talk about than 20, as well as next week's movie, or I guess this week's movie, whatever. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.